KiraPiece, every awakened Devil Fruit user and their powers explained. Starting with one of the most powerful users that can literally turn the world around him into strings, the one and only Doflamingo. At just the young age of 10, a young Doflamingo ate the Ito Ito no Mi, which is a paramecia type Devil Fruit that gives the user the ability to create and manipulate strings, making the user a string human. It was given to him by Treble, one of the elite officers of the Don Quixote pirates. Now, at some point through his life, he awakened his Devil Fruit, and this allowed him to turn anything into string, which helped him greatly in fighting off Luffy's Gear 4 abilities. It made it incredibly difficult for Luffy to get close to Doflamingo because he used the strings he produced from the ground to defend himself from Luffy's attacks. But even with Doflamingo having a Devil Fruit awakening and being as powerful as he is, he still wasn't able to beat Luffy, who, mind you, hadn't even awakened to his Devil Fruit yet. And this is just the first of 12 awakened users we're going to talk about, and the very last user I'm going to explain will have you running out of your room for some reason. But this next guy can literally turn anything into mochi. It sounds like a ridiculous power, but it gave Luffy a run for his money. Charlotte Katakuri was born into a family of pirates famously named the Big Mom Pirates, and is the third oldest of Big Mom's children. At the age of 5, he ate the Mochi Mochi no Mi, which is a paramecia type Devil Fruit that gives the user the ability to create, control, and transform into mochi, which, if you don't know, is a Japanese snack that is elastic and smooth, and was heavily compared to Luffy's Gomu Gomu no Mi. Now, at some point in his life, he had awakened his Devil Fruit, and that made him even more powerful, because now he can transform the things around him into mochi, like the floors and walls. And this sticky substance, was a really big factor while battling Luffy, because he was able to attack Luffy from afar. Katakuri was shown to be levels above Luffy, and many believe that Luffy purely won this fight against this mochi monster because of his plot armor. Speaking of plot armor, this next person caught me by surprise when reading the recent chapters of One Piece. Spoiler alert! We were first introduced to this long-nosed fellow during Water 7, CP0 member Kaku. Kaku was a powerful opponent that Zoro faced at Enies Lobby, and Kaku ate a Zoan-type Devil Fruit, the Ushi Ushi no Mi, model giraffe, which gives him the ability to transform into a giraffe hybrid, or just a full-on giraffe at will. Although we don't know when, in the recent chapters of the manga, he has shown that he has awakened his Devil Fruit powers, and his abilities, strength, speed, and recovery time have skyrocketed. His awakened abilities allow him to stretch his neck out almost like a snake, and it kind of reminds me of Kaido's dragon form, where he can circle around his opponents, but Kaku seems to be way stronger than ever before. And if you haven't noticed, there's some smoke around Kaku's body, just like Luffy's awakening power Gear 5. And this is just starting to be notably shown for just Zoan-type awakening users, and there's another character in this list that has the same thing going on, so you don't want to miss it. This next character has the ability to turn things into pure gold. Guild Tesoro, also known as the Casino King, was the owner of the largest entertainment city ship in the world, and served as the main villain for the One Piece film Gold. Guild Tesoro ate the Gorigori no Mi, which is a non-canon paramecia type Devil Fruit that allows the user to telekinetically manipulate gold at will. For instance, he can quickly change gold from solid to liquid and vice versa, allowing him to shape it in any way he wants. He can even encase living people in gold, turning them into basically statues. He's also able to cover his own body in golden armor to increase his power, to the point where he can turn into a massive gold golem. And at some point in Guild's life, he awakened the Gorigori no Mi, being able to control gold more powerfully, like when he uses his awakening to detect any break-ins, attacks, and special information around the ship, which, mind you, is all made out of gold. Guild awakening powers were strong enough to take out marine battleships, and he is extremely powerful, but his only weakness is only being able to control gold he has touched previously, and not being able to create new gold, which is just shocking to me. And this next character also gave me a shock after he showed what his awakening could do to an Emperor of the Sea. Eustace Captain Kidd, the leader of the Kid Pirates, is a pirate from the worst generation that we met back in the Sabati arc. Although we don't know when he ate his Devil Fruit, we do know that he ate the Jiki Jiki no Mi, which is a paramecia type Devil Fruit that allows the user to create magnetic forces and can use them to control metal. We can see him using these powerful abilities during the Sabati arc, and something you might have forgotten about is that Big Mom wasn't the first emperor he fought. You see, after the time skip, we learned that during his travel in the New World, Captain Kidd challenged arguably the strongest emperor of the sea, red-haired Shanks. During this battle, Shanks took off Kidd's arm, just sliced it clean off, and fans are guessing Kidd awakened his Devil Fruit after this confrontation. Now, his awakening allows him to be capable of turning other objects, including living organisms, into magnets by assigning them a specific polarity. This awakening has an immense power that does not rely on Captain Kidd requiring metal from his surroundings. With this awakening, he was able to help Trafalgar D to defeat Big Mom, one of the Emperors of the Sea. This goes to show that Captain Kidd is going to be one of the strongest characters in One Piece by the end of the series. But did you know that there's a chance that Devil Fruit awakenings can cause the user to lose their minds? During the Impel Down arc, there's these animal guards throughout the prison called jailer beasts, and they actually give important information about Devil Fruit awakenings. Don't believe me? Well, all 4 of these jailer beasts, Minotaurus, Minokoala, Minorhinoceros, and Minozebra, all ate a Zoan-type Devil Fruit. Now, we don't know when they ate them, but we do know that they have awakened their powers. All 4 of these jailer beasts have weapons that help them fight and torture prisoners, but their awakened Devil Fruit kept them as beasts, and they all have completely lost their minds to the powers of their fruits. So the information that we can gather is pretty significant, as we realize that not everybody will be extremely powerful with their awakening, or even conscious for that matter. And you know how we mentioned Kaku earlier? Well, there's another remnant of the CP9 group that we meet again. In the latest chapters of One Piece, we meet none other than Rob Lucci again, and this time he has awakened his Devil Fruit. As you can see, he also has smoke around his body just like Luffy and Kaku, so it seems the smoke is predominantly seen on only Zoan-type users. But anyway, Lucci's Devil Fruit awakening lets him have a new, much more powerful hybrid form, which greatly enhances his physical strength, speed, as well as his recovery rate. Unlike most awakened Zoans, Lucci's personality was not overtaken by the animal nature of the Devil Fruit, as we know from the jailer beasts. In this awakened form, he could somewhat match Luffy while he's in Gear 5, but only for a short amount of time. Even meeting him in a fist clash and withstanding his Gomu Gomu no Mogura pistol, however, he was soon overpowered as he started putting more force behind his attacks. Man, I can't wait for Toei to animate this. We got 4 more awakened users left on this list, and this next person we're going to talk about is arguably just as strong as an Emperor of the Sea, because not even everyone from the worst generation could take him down. Douglas Bullet was a member of the Roger Pirates before he was imprisoned and impelled down, and was freed during Luffy's commotion there. He serves as the antagonist for the One Piece film Stampede, and at the age of 13, Douglas ate the Gasha Gasha no Mi, a non-canon Paramecia-type Devil Fruit that allows the user to telekinetically disassemble objects and reassemble them into whatever he pleases, making him an assimilation human. Besides from already knowing Rokushiki, which is the style of fighting showcased for the CP9 members, he has awakened his Devil Fruit, gaining immense strength and allowing him to disassemble objects from a greater range. With his awakening, he can essentially restructure the entire landscape of islands by assembling their features as he sees fit, and create and inhabit a colossus whose physical presence is unparalleled. But as you all know, his power and strength was not enough to beat Luffy. It never is. But this guy put the world government in shambles. At the age of just 10, Trafalgar D joined the Don Quixote pirates, who were led by Doflamingo and his brother Rosinante Corazon. Law at the time had an incurable disease called the Amber Lead disease. Knowing this and losing his family in the process, Law decided to join the crew, wanting to cause mass destruction and violence all around the world. But one day, Corazon decided to take Law and travel around to find the best doctors and cure Law's disease. Although Law wasn't too fond of this, seeming as he already knew that there was no cure and he was going to die in a year anyways. In the end, he lets Corazon do what he wants, because Law finally realizes that someone actually cares about him, and that Corazon's feelings for him are almost like a brother to him. But since there was no cure and Law's condition was getting worse and worse by each passing day, Corazon got intel from Doflamingo himself that they were about to steal a Devil Fruit that could cure Law. And guys, this Devil Fruit is arguably the most powerful Devil Fruit in the series, the Ope Ope no Mi, a Paramecia type Devil Fruit that grants the power to create a spherical force field in which the user can freely rearrange, take apart, and remodel the anatomy of anything and anyone, themselves included, in a surgical way, making the user a free modification human. Now, since the Navy knew about the deal going on, the Marines were ready to intercept it like they're the NFL and take it from them. But in fact, Corazon was the one to steal it from the pirates, but he was too slow, as Doflamingo already arrived on the island. So Corazon ended up force-feeding the Ope Ope no Mi to Law, healing him from his Amber Lead disease, and at the end, sacrificing his own life so that way Law wouldn't be killed or used by Doflamingo. Law did end up escaping and creating his own crew, the Heart Pirates, and at some point after the time skip, Law awakened his Devil Fruit abilities, which drastically increased his strength and abilities by a lot. He was able to continuously attack Big Mom with very powerful strikes and was a huge power factor during the whole Onigashima War. And at the end, our boy Law came out with the win against one of the Emperors of the Sea. Coming up next are the last 2 users, and if you've made it this far, comment down below, awakening. Awakening, so I know you made it through. At last, I know you've been waiting for him, just as every One Piece fan all around the world couldn't wait for the animation of the reincarnation of Joyboy, Gear 5, or should I say, the sun god himself, Monkey D. Luffy, to show off his new abilities. At this point, everyone and their grandmas has seen this episode, but for a bit of nostalgia, let me explain Luffy's Devil Fruit Awakening. At the age of 7 years old, Luffy ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi because, well, he was curious and hungry. But as of much recently, we know now that it's not called the Gomu Gomu no Mi, but instead the Hito Hito no Mi, Model Nika. Gear 5 was created during the Onigashima raid, where Luffy was knocked down and essentially killed by Kaido, and as a result, Luffy awakened his Devil Fruit for the first time since the Void Century. After awakening, Luffy gains even greater freedom and demonstrates many new abilities, such as being able to freely manipulate the shape and size of his body instead of focusing more on hardening himself using armament haki. He takes on a much more cartoonish fighting style, to say, as well as being able to grant the environment around him the same properties as rubber, which allowed him to deflect Kaido's blast breath by just bouncing it right back at him, as well as being able to stretch objects he touches like rubber, including living things and even lightning. As pointed out by Kaido, Luffy's power now has the characteristics of both Paramecia and Zoan-type Devil Fruits. And this only goes to show that Luffy will become the Pirate King. But before Luffy can become Pirate King, he has to get past one last huge opponent, and that is Blackbeard. Now, it's not confirmed whether or not Blackbeard has awakened his Devil Fruit, but during the Ace fight, it very much seemed like it, and I won't be surprised if he already has before his big fight with Luffy, which will probably just be one of, if not the best fight in all of anime, period. And now, if you like this video, check out this video on your screen right here, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more uploads like these. Thank you so much for watching.